Okay guys, so today's video is a bit different. Basically, we've got this Toyota Aygo here that we've taken in, and basically we do 2 test drives. Business partner Ed takes the car out for a test drive, and I take the car out for a test drive. Normally about 150 miles total, mix of NDR, the local motorway as such, and more urban roads as well, just to get a good overall feel for the car, make sure that there's no knocking, no potential problems that might come up. So during this test, we've had an engine warning light. After scanning, it came up error code P0134. And this is to do with the bank 1 Lambda sensor. So I'll put an image of the diagnostic machine here. So you can see P0134, and that's due to the Lambda sensor, which is just in the engine bay there. And you know, they're not that expensive. I've gone to pick one up. It's £50 for an original part. So what I'm going to do is replace that, put a new one in, then just double check everything still works. This should be the resolution, but if it's not, I know that it could be a little wiring problem, but this should be the general fix. So I'm just coming around to the engine bay now. This here is our problem. This little one connection here, which should be actually tucked into there. And then this is our sensor here, plugged in to our exhaust manifold here. This is the pre-catalytic one, so the catalytic converter's there. This is what we need to replace. And as you can see, it's got a 22mm here. 22mm socket is needed, but because this wire's in the way, there's a special tool required. So this is our part here that we picked up from the car parts store. It's a Bosch one, so the important thing is to get a good high quality brand. So the important thing is to get a good high quality brand. So as you can see, it's got the plastic wiring on it, it's got the sensor, and it's got the connector. Exactly the same as our one down here. This is a very important part because the diagnosis that we had here was not only that the code was coming up, but also that the car, the exhaust had quite a petrol-based smell, and it shouldn't really. And the reason for that is this controls how much fuel is essentially added. So it figures out how much oxygen is coming out. As a result, it then adjusts the fuel mix to ensure that all the fuel's being burnt off. So at the minute, this engine warning code is just kind of showing everything's wrong. It's got very little air around, the air's very poor quality, it's very cold or it's very hot outside, extreme conditions, and as a result it's putting lots of fuel in because it doesn't know what the air quality is like. So as a result, a lot of that fuel isn't being burnt. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that part now. So I just picked up this tool set as well that was very useful, because these special sockets are able to have this space here, and it can then fit around that wire and just slip straight on to that socket, allowing me to turn, whereas if that went all the way down, I wouldn't be able to do that. So by having this special socket, it's going to allow me more leverage in a space that a spanner isn't very maneuverable. So as you can see, I've fashioned together with that special socket a breaker bar, and what I'm now going to do is place this on there and try and get this off. What I do need to add is the first step I should do before removing this is make sure this clip is undone to prevent damaging any of this wiring here. So I couldn't show this bit, but basically what you had to do is this little part here, you just had to push down really hard. I had to use a bit, quite a bit of pressure, and then this will just slide out, okay? So just press down really hard and slide that out. So now I've placed my socket onto that piece there, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to turn it to the left anti-clockwise to undo this here. So I changed my approach. I used a shorter bar on one of these, and now as you can see, this is spinning out very nicely now. I did have to put a lot of force on this, and I did end up using trusty WD-40 on there, but it's now coming out. So as you can see, this is now out and loose, very sort of clogged up with gunk and rubbish. They are meant to kind of look a bit like this, but when you compare this to the new one that we've got. It's not in the best condition. So here's a comparison of our nice new one and our nice old one. So as you can see, brand new is a lot cleaner. We've got the grease on there, make sure it goes in smoothly. I'm going to give that area a little clean. I'm going to place this in. So now have it back in, plug it in nicely. There's a nice little metal wiring here that you can kind of wire this in like this, and then just clip this back onto that little connector there, and then you're good to go. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope this video was very informative and helped you guys replace your Lambda sensor on your Toyota Aygo, Citroen C1 or Peugeot 107.